Hey, I think we live over there. Jesse, how you doing? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Oh boy, you're looking good tonight.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
man. Hey, listen, welcome to the GG Factor on this what's tonight? Tonight is Tuesday night. This is the first Tuesday in the month of May, man. I'm fired up for another 30 days to a new you. You know me, Jesse. I'm about every month. We got to go out here and do something and be something and take an evaluation on that money and make it happen. So I'm excited to have you here tonight with me. Hey, I'm excited about the GG Factor. It's new ground to break into YouTube. The world is out there watching us tonight, and I'm excited to have you here with us, man. How you doing?
Excellent. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you so much.
Man, you look marvelous, man. If you ain't got the money, you fooling them. Because you look like all the cash you're supposed to have, baby girl. You're looking really great. So, hey, once again, man, welcome to the GG Factor. I'm just so excited about this tonight because I've got one of my best friends in the business with me, man. We have worked together for over 25 years, and I can quantify that. Man, Jesse, we're going way back, man.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about the Holiday Inn. I'm talking about down in the Keys. I'm talking about the Sheraton Hotel. I'm talking about G. Willikers. I'm talking about Pickles. I'm talking about all these clubs that we played in over all the years right here in South Florida. So, hey, that's why tonight is so special to me. I'm going to share a little something with everyone about this. I think I'm going to bring the music down a little bit if I can. How am I sounding real music-wise? I'm all right? I'm not too loud for you? Things okay?
I love it for the intro, but I'm cool.
Good. Well, I didn't want to turn it off. Then I feel that dance vibe got me popping a little bit. So, hey, I'm going to tell you all about what's going on tonight because it's special to me. I grew up in the music business. My family owned a nightclub in Tampa. I went to Florida A&M University. I started playing trumpet as a kid when I was 12 years old, man. And that went to high school. The next thing you know, I went to college playing in the Marching 100. And let me back it up a little bit for you. When I was 17 years old, my brother started me with my first band. I got my first bass guitar. And let me tell you something, boy, that was the beginning of the passion of my life. And I can say it to this day, Jesse, you know that? I'm still in the business. I got a gig Friday night. I know you got one this weekend. So, hey, the point I'm trying to make is very much this. We are ones who are living our passions. We may not be rock stars, but we're still in this business, right, Jesse? We're still doing what we do, So for me, that's the bottom line, man. I love it. I'm a retired teacher. I'm a 25-time marathoner, but I'm still in the music business. Jesse and I just did an incredible show, a couple of months ago, Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
That's right. So, hey, man, I'm going to turn the floor over to Jesse. I'm going to stop this music. But ladies and gentlemen, what do I say? syncmusica CEO, Jessica Alvarez. She's right there. You're in New York City tonight, right?
No. I leave tomorrow morning.
Okay, so you're still in New York.
I'm still in Miami, actually.
You're still in Miami. You're headed back to New York. All right. But that's some of the things we're going to talk about tonight. Without further ado, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. I'm going to find a way to go over here and put a stop on this music because I want people to know that Jess is in the house and can hear her very, very well. Without a doubt, you got it. It's all on you, man.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Greg, for this opportunity. Like you said, we go way back. But besides going way back as performers in the industry, we also, I believe, have sustaining power because we have always maintained our focus, our perseverance, and reinventing. And I believe that those are the keys to staying in this business and being able to flourish as well as be successful.
Because something, Jesse, I don't even want to do nothing but just stop in and say this right now. Every one of the social media ads that I popped up on you, I said, she's a hustler in this business. She has staying power and she has longevity. So I totally concur with you. And I just want to say this to you with all due respect. You can't stay in this business if you're not a diehard. You can't stay in this business if you don't mind falling down and get up again. So what you just said is what I wanted everyone to know about tonight. Jesse has passion. Jesse has purpose. And knock, 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 knock. What do you say? And the universe keeps giving you what? Possibilities. No doubt. So, hey, man, without even trying to cut you off or anything like that, I just had to come in and say to you, you are absolutely right. Only the strong survive in this industry. And you and I both know what it's like. So thank you for sharing that first and foremost, that for over 25 years. We're still in this industry. We're still standing. So I might cut in like that every now and then, because when you say something that resonates with me, you remind me of why we're still in this industry. And that's why I have you here tonight. It's not just about you being in the music business. It's about you having a passion for what you love to do. And that, to me, so many of us miss that. We get caught up in jobs. We get caught up in obligations just to make money. But you know something? Nothing like making money and you forget you're getting paid, because I understand sometimes when I go out, I have such a good time like we had for Valentine's Day. I don't have to tell you.
Yes,
So I
absolutely.
just want to make sure the audience hear that very clearly, that you say that you have staying power, Jesse. You have this thing that I call just innate, should I say, ability to have longevity. And I say it always to you, man. Congrats, because you're showing everybody that against all odds, I know what you've been through. I remember you and I talking during COVID.
Yeah.
I remember you taking a pivot during COVID.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm going to just do this because we can. You might as well tell them, what did you do during COVID that's about syncmusica that we can find out about tonight? Go right ahead.
Well, during COVID, I had before syncmusica, and I still do. I had a company called Javi Productions, where
Mhm.
we represented artists and book artists. We had about 3,000 subcontractors that we booked at events, at festivals. We managed artists. We did artist, representation,
Yes,
and we had that for a long time with my great friend and partner to this day, Tony Cruz, and we worked together. And I remember that during the pandemic, everything shut down. Performances. I mean, everything from the artists that I know that gigged every day to artists that were headliners or were working with Babyface
exactly.
or touring with whoever that they were touring needed a way to get out there. And mm, sorry. I'm sorry about that.
It's
And
all good. Yeah.
I realized that in order to be able to survive, people were calling me, "Hey, do you have a gig?" I was like, "No, there's nothing.
Right.
We're home. We're stuck." And these people had to put food on the table, had to be able to provide for their families.
Yes.
I thought, what do I do to help all these people? You know, um, and I went ahead and decided I'm going back to school.
Yep.
I had 25 years of life experience in the music industry, but I had to pivot. That's my word. I had to pivot. So I decided to sign up to Berkeley. I did an online course, but I said, what kind of course is going to work now? And I decided to get my credentials as a music supervisor.
I
I've
don't
always
think they
loved
heard you. What? Excuse me, ma'am. What school did you say you decided to sign up and
Berkeley,
go to? What did you say? Berkeley School of Music?
Berkeley,
Oh,
Berkeley.
I just want to reiterate to our audience that she didn't just go back to school. She said, "I'm going to Berkeley because I want to go top shelf." So hey, that is why I wanted to do this, because it's so important that people understand. Everyone in the industry, even myself, I had thousands of dollars of contracts just canceled. I'm talking about at that time of the year, I typically would have, man, $70,000 or $100,000 set up in contracts with country clubs. So I know what you're saying. And believe me, we all took the pivot. And that's why I applaud you, because you decided. And I'll never forget, I had seen you for a while, Jesse. And I think you came down, and I think you had to do a performance with me. And we decided to talk about, hey, what's been going on? And you
Right.
told me what you were doing. And honestly speaking, when you shared what you're doing, which I'm sure you'll share in a few minutes, that was pivotal. But I wanted them to know you didn't just go back to school. You decided to do it at Berkeley. So, hey, when I say she got credentials, y'all, a brother speaking truth, sister got real credentials. She said Berkeley.
Thank you, thank you. Now, and so I didn't only pivot as an entrepreneur, which I'd always been. I pivoted as an artist. For those of you who know me as an artist, Jesse Campo, I was like, well, I'm not gigging either. And so what I decided to do was ask the owner of the place where I was staying in the Fort Lauderdale on the Intercoastal, can I bring down my equipment and perform in the on the like the port the I guess you would call it the dock, and I would perform on the dock, and I started creating what is called independent shows, virtual shows. I started creating virtual shows where I would go ahead and perform. Now, I started creating the shows, selling the shows through Eventbrite so my fans could watch the shows. At first, I didn't, it was just on Facebook, on Instagram, everybody could watch for free. But I started seeing that a lot of people were stuck at home as well. And I saw people in Italy on balconies do it. So why couldn't I do it on the intercoastal where I was living at the time? And so
Exactly.
I started at the intercoastal, but lately when I had to give up that apartment because there was no revenue coming in, I
Yeah.
decided to do the balcony in my mother's house. Well, all of this was pivoting, constantly pivoting. So I ended
Yes.
up doing 4 virtual concerts a year. So if anybody goes to my YouTube page, which is Jesse Campo Music, you see during the pandemic, starting in 2020, I did 4 virtual concerts
Wow.
for 2 years consecutive, where I would find ways to do virtual concerts, sell the tickets on Eventbrite, and do these massive production concerts. The first one wasn't massive; it was in my house with a little camera, going, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" But I had to start somewhere, and
Right.
I realized at that time that I had to pivot 2 ways. One, as an artist myself,
Hmm.
pivot as an entrepreneur to be able to help everybody else that I had been booking. And that dual process set me on a whole different path of perception of how to approach the business and the industry. For me
Exactly.
as a songwriter and for other people as an entrepreneur. So what Sync Musica does is I started creating a business where I could help other artists protect their intellectual property, monetize their money, and also be able to put their music correctly in visual media, film, TV, gaming. But as everybody started submitting their music wasn't ready. So I could not pitch them. I said, you got to get me your music ready. And that's where I started having speaking at SAE, speaking at colleges later on, a couple of years later, with my company, explaining this is what you have to do if you want to get your music ready to get paid, to monetize once you are ready to put your music in film and TV. And they didn't know. And that's when the questions started coming up. Oh my God, I put music in this and in that, and I never got paid. Well, because you
Hmm.
never did this and this and that. And I mean, if you go to my Instagram page, you'll see me speaking at SAE, Broward College, where you'll see me explaining, well, you need to do this if you want to get paid what's called on the back end,
Uh-huh.
from streaming, from downloads, from song placements, from a numerous amount of ways. And that is all, what's now my mission statement with Sync Musica is, you go to my website, syncmusica.com, you can have a consultation with me, and during that consultation, it's customized to what your needs are because everybody is in a different situation in their
Exactly.
music career.
Well, can I say this to you, Jesse? What, I must have reached out to, man, personally, just me, just through text alone. And I hope some of them took heed to what I'm saying, because what you just shared, a lot of people are totally oblivious to. They're not even aware of. You said something very critically important. What's the necessary prerequisite? How do I set myself up correctly so that I can get in that word, the working word you use, passive income? How can I just place it out there and watch the movies, get a soundtrack, pick up, watch this happen, watch that happen? And that's the golden key that a lot of people don't understand about their original music. I know people right now, and even myself, if as we speak, we got music that's just sitting around. I know that you definitely know what to do with it, So I would say a unconditional plug to you at any point when you want to say your email address, your website address, how do they get in touch with you? I'm sure, and I'm hoping that some musicians who are listening now understand that you've got the correct credentials. You know exactly what's should I say, the due diligence they need to go through, the necessary prerequisites that are there. Because see, at the end of the day, that's what happens. A lot of people forget that this is the music business. My first recording deal, if I'd had someone like you talking to me right now, the first songs I wrote in my life, I lost the rights to them because I didn't take the kind of charge I was supposed to with the record company I was with. All I was excited to do was play my music, record my music, and go out and make money for it. Not thinking about what, Jesse? The long run. Not
Yeah.
thinking about it being my intellectual property. Yeah, we had people doing all kinds of things for us, but no one really set up the publishing for us in a manner that there would be never an expiration on ownership. And at the end of the day, I learned from it. I definitely learned from it. So, hey, I just wanted to stop and share that you said something critically important about passive income and what you do. That's why I want you to share as much as you can. How can people reach you? How can they get the services you have? Because what you're saying right now, to anyone who's a songwriter, they need to know that this is a game changer.
Well, because I mean, everything you said is absolutely correct. What happens is artists are creators. They're creators, music creators. And they think, okay, I'm going to put the music out there and I'm going to get my downloads and my streams and I'm going to make money. Okay. Honestly, okay, money through streaming, when digital started, it changed the whole infrastructure, how money was collected. You could sell a CD and you get $20 for your CD if you sold it out of your trunk or you sold it at a gig. $20 came straight from you, from that CD, turning it into a customer and right into your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that changed when digital became part of the industry. Okay, so when digital became part of the industry, what happened was that basically everybody was like, okay, how do I make money now? And nobody knew, because it took many years after digital distribution happened before anybody knew how to make their money. Okay. And so the key thing was, when digital distribution started, everybody was, oh, now we can release our music on our own. But then nobody was seeing any money. Those $20 became $1 for maybe 1,000 downloads or 1,000 streams. Okay. And they were like, wait a second. I used to get 20. Now I get one. And everybody's, and 1,000 people are listening to my music. Yeah, you got more listeners, but if you didn't know how to register your music properly, you weren't getting paid. And so it's crazy. It's crazy. So you look at it and you go, okay, so what do I do? And if you can Google, hey, how do I make money? But everybody's situation will be different. So what we do at syncmusica is the consultation helps me determine where you're at. If you're at zero level with your registrations and protecting your music, collecting your mechanical royalties and your performance royalties, or whether you have done a couple of things and just didn't know how to do it right, and you're leaving money out there on the street.
Yes.
Okay? And so when you go to syncmusica, you'll go to services. And when you go to services, you'll go, oh, wait a second. Okay, I need this service. But if you're not sure which service you need, then you'll have a consultation with me and I'll say, well, what do you have? What do you need? Because you don't know where you need to go unless a mentor or somebody guides you and listens to you and says, okay, what do you have?
Yes.
And then you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you're at. And how can you know where you're at if you haven't done it right in the first place?
Why do you think, Jesse? And man, boy, you putting it out there. And you know something, what I love about it? You are giving people who are far, far younger than us, who are initializing their grind, as we would call it, right? They're getting their grind on. They're really going after it. But we got to keep reminding them that it's a music business. And you know, when you said something, I don't know if you remember the FYI music stores. I don't know if you remember, for your information, FYI. I don't know if you remember them or not, but I want to share a quick little story with you. You know, I still have my record label. It's called the Urban Music Group. And you know, our flagship artist is Rachel Brown. And you know that we had a #1 single in Billboard with Rachel Brown called Let's Fall in Love Again. But you know something you said, and it shows you how the industry can change. You know what we did back then that got us a #1 single? You mentioned it, just like Luther Campbell and everybody else did. Man, we was going out doing performances and selling CDs. But the big difference was what we learned. And thanks to our record label, man, our real executive, Israel Charles, he found a way and I found a way. I went to the Billboard conference with Rachel. We went to Atlanta, Georgia. And what we did is the one thing that you and I are talking about right now. We found out how it works to get on that billboard. How does it work to make sure you understand the business of the business? And Rachel woke up one day, she looked on Billboard, it said CD single, #1, and right behind her was Michael Jackson and R. Kelly and people that you wouldn't even imagine. And you know, I told her, you better screenshot that and keep it forever, because back then you could literally sell your CDs and make sure that they were registered correctly the way you got them through FYI or on your own, and it would be registered CD sales. Now, let's fast forward, because you just changed it. The landscape has changed so much. The digital, I mean, I'm going to turn it back over to you right now, but you just really hit it on the head. You said it. You can sell your CDs. make your money. I can still remember right now, seriously speaking, lines of people. We got a FYI tour going around all of South Florida, and we would get all of those sales, send them in to the producers who said that they were recording the sales, and that's how we, without even going on a lot of radio play, got a #1 single. So the point I'm making, that was then. This is now. There's a different animal. You are the liaison. You're telling people what's the necessary prerequisite, and you even waking me up to that if I decide what I want to do in terms of publishing my songs. Because believe me, right up in my studio upstairs right now, I got some masters that I know. Who knows? And you know something, Jesse? Let's just talk about that. Who knows what song can be placed with what movie unless you do what? Shop it.
Exactly. Exactly. So I went from, because I had a company called Harvey Productions where we booked and pitched artists for gigs. So I went from pitching artists now to being a sync agent. So I pitch songs. And so what I do is I pitch songs for different opportunities. So artists come up to me, hey, can you pitch it for a gig? No, I don't do that anymore. So it's not booking you for a gig and pitching you for a gig, but I'll take your song and represent your song and pitch it for a placement or a music licensing agreement. But the situation was that I can't do that unless you are ready and set up for that. So let's go back to that comparison.
Yes.
When you were an artist and you wanted to be booked by an agent, okay, you had to have either, if you were gigging solo with a band, you had to have your sound equipment, you have to have your lighting, you had to have an EPK you could send the agents, you had to have several things to be able to, a bank account so that you would, get paid through the agent and get a check, a business account, so you were professional. That's when you were an artist being booked for gigs. Now, if you want to pitch your music, now it's all about the song. It's no longer you as an entity, as an artist. You need to have the song protected with all those elements. Okay. So right now, you have a song. First of all, if I'm going to give you the basics of putting your song in a sync placement or for music licensing.
Okay.
Let's say you have a song and you say to me, hey, Jess, I want you to put that song in the next TV series coming up, one of the big TV series, okay, by Tyler Perry. Let's say by Tyler Perry, so because I love Tyler Perry. And you said there's a new series. I want to put my song in there. Okay, great. I say to you, first of all, do you have your song registered? Do you own the intellectual property? Well, you're like, okay, I think I do. Okay, well, you can't think you do because you have to make sure that your intellectual property is registered with copyright.gov. Because if it's not registered with copyright.gov, what happens, you stand a chance that someone could steal your music, first of all, or they won't touch it with a 10-foot pole because they don't want to run into the risk that you say, hey, they stole my song. So first you have to copyright their song. Okay, that's protecting your intellectual property. Okay, after protecting your sound recording, then you have to make sure that you're going to collect money for the performance of that song. It's called performance royalty. You have to be registered with their PRO. Okay, performance rights organization. Then you got to make sure that if they end up using that music in a soundtrack or anything else, or however, you want to be able to collect your mechanical royalties. Or if you release it simultaneously when the song appears in the series, which would be great for your career, then you want to be able to collect your mechanical royalties. For that, I recommend setting up your own publishing company. Okay, then you can collect money through the MLC. Okay, Mechanical Licensing Collective. Okay. Now, then besides that, there's way as an artist that you can collect money for any interactive streaming that you start bringing in because, hey, it was in a series, all of a sudden you're getting attention and you want to collect that. And you want to make sure you're the master owner, which goes back to the first registration you did. I just told you 4 registrations that you need to have to make sure you get paid on the back end. You get paid, you have money coming in from your mechanical royalties and your performance royalties, but also you get money on the back end because here's what happened. Your buddy is an indie producer, film producer. He says, hey, look, come on, Greg, give me your song. I'll pay you $100. That's all I got. It's an independent film. And you go, okay, fine, sure. You don't have your music registered with anything. And your buddy on top of it doesn't know how to fill a cute sheet, which is a sheet that says, hey, Greg Griffin wrote this song and Rachel Brown is the singer, et cetera, et cetera. So you, at the end of the film, when those credits come up and you're sitting there at the film going, oh, my buddy, now it's in a big theater. Now it's on Amazon or whatever it may be. You're looking at the screen. You're waiting for your name to come up. And at the end, you don't see your name come up. Not as a
Mhm.
writer, not as a performer, because you
Nothing.
did not do your due diligence, first of all, to protect your music, make sure that it was properly registered, make sure that you hopefully got a copy of that cue sheet or your friend knows what a cue sheet is, so it was
Mm.
properly paid for you through your performance royalties. It's a lot of
Mm.
information. I just gave everybody a lot of information.
You know something? I told them all. I say, I mean, I sent out a set of text to drummers, a set of text to vocalists, a set of text to keyboard players, a set of text to guitarists. If even 10% of them showed up tonight, I'm sure they're sitting up in their chairs like me. And a lot of them are pretty much, full-time musicians too. A lot of them,
Yeah,
and honestly, and I'm saying I'm so glad you used the term correct, because when you kept saying the word register, 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 I want to say make sure you understand that means copyright, copyright, copyright. Because that's
protect
so
your
critically.
intellectual property. When you
Yes,
buy a house, don't you get the deed to that? You get a deed to the house, right?
right.
When you go to buy a car, you get a title for
That's
that car.
right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
if you create a song, it's an intellectual property.
Hello.
You need to protect your intellectual property.
Absolutely.
It's that simple. Today, songs, good catalogs have value. They're like,
Mhm.
and they can be like equity. I mean, right after the pandemic, don't you remember that there were artists, famous artists, taking portions of their catalogs and selling them to corporations? It's
Mhm.
like if you had, I mean, at one time I remember you had a set of properties, that you owned. Well, that was equity. That was money sitting in your hands, or money sitting that was viable, tangible property. So
Yes.
if you register your catalog is your songs properly. It's like owning, and that builds, and you start getting streaming and downloading. That
Mhm.
builds, that catalog has value later down the line. That catalog can generate money for you, whether it's in sync,
Mhm.
whether if you sign a publishing deal, and they exploit your catalog. Now, exploiting is not a bad word. That means getting your catalog out there for different opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay, for publishing, for collaborations, for duets with other people that are already established. There's so many numerous ways that you're publishing your catalog can generate money, not just with sync, but you
And
have
you do
to have.
this. Let me intervene and say that is something that you do to shop someone's catalog for them. Is that an area of your expertise that someone they come into Sync Musica? This is something that they can look forward to under the umbrella of services.
Yes, we only do it by invitation only. We
Mm.
last year were able to negotiate a deal with a subcontract that collects globally, and so certain artists that we feel have a really valuable catalog, we will offer them or invite them to a publishing deal.
Uh huh.
Okay, but that's someone who has done their due diligence prior to that. They have to have administrated and organized their music properly, just like a business. It's paperwork, it's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
But if you don't know how to do it, we provide a service with our team where we'll provide a service and we'll assist you in how to organize your catalog.
Well, wow, man. Let me tell you, like I said, I can't see who's here, who's not here, who's listening, who's not listening. And I'm going to put it out there right now that this recording will be available. All you have to do is go to Gregory the Activator and go to live streams, and it'll be there for you. Unconditional plug I'm going to make right now. I just realized, wow, man, almost a half hour has gone by like nothing. Jesse, I tell you what, man, you are speaking truth. I hope that whoever's listening, whoever's watching, they got their iPad out of their notepad or old school paper and pencil and taking it and putting it down, because I want to thank you so much, because what you just shared is that people have to understand that this is a business. The greatest performers in the world, at some point, they do write a song. And it's very interesting. And I don't know if you want to kind of reiterate on this or piggyback on me, talk to them a little bit more about, say, a commercial placement. When you hear all these old school songs and people are putting out commercials right now, and like you reach back and say, wow, man, that song about 30 years old and it's still in a commercial today. That's evidence of what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah, but and here's the sad thing: if you were an artist who back in the days, let's say you created a great freestyle song, But at that time, you negotiated a deal where you did not own the masters and the publishing, and you just went out and did gig after gig after gig, show after show after show. You got paid for those shows, maybe big bucks, because there were a lot of freestyle artists. You got big bucks for those shows. But what happened when the freestyle? You can continue to do freestyle the rest of your life. What happened when later you hear that song in a commercial and you go, "Oh, that was one of my tunes," but you're not getting any money on the back end. 30-second commercial can generate up to 6 figures.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And you need to say that again. A 30-second commercial can generate how much?
Generate up to 6 figures with the right commercial. Okay. But if you gave away your masters, gave away your publishing, okay, and did not make sure that you owned a piece of that back end of the song pie, you literally spent all that time during your freestyle era getting great money, but that money by now probably already went away. But you could have made more.
Yep.
Could have made so much more later on to set you up for
Yeah.
success. It's almost like your retirement money.
Right.
Look at
Oh,
it
you
as,
good.
you know, people that invest have retirement money. Okay, it's like retirement money, but you got to do your due diligence. So to all the young people that are putting out music out there,
Yeah.
okay, that because today you can put out, young artists can go out there and put a song out every week, every week, and they do it. They have the tools, they have the studios in their homes. They put out music every week, and it's wonderful music. But are you receiving any money for it? And some of them are, you know, they're all about the creation, and they go, okay, no, I just want to put music out. Yeah, but what about when you have a family and kids, and later down the road, you could have taken that music and been living off of it? You're
Mhm.
setting yourself up for that retirement fund.
Yep.
But you got to do the work and the due diligence now.
Mm.
Or
Well, I'm going to say this to you,
get
Jesse.
ready
You're
to go.
right. Yep, you're right. They need to understand that, and I
The
keep
business.
saying it. It's a music business, and you can do this for me before we segue to a few other questions I got. I'm going to wrap up. I want to talk to you a little bit about the performing Jesse, the producing Jesse, the Jesse. I don't know if you perform in New York City area. Do you just perform in South Florida? But before that, go ahead once again. Whoever's listening, tell them how to reach you, how to get in touch with you, how to really get information about their music, about opportunities with publishing with syncmusica.
Okay, so basically, you can reach out to my website. I am going to put it on the YouTube right now, on the
Okay.
YouTube chat. If anybody's out there and also has any questions, you can ask me questions on the chat because I am there as well. So I'm sending you over to syncmusica.com. Okay. Hopefully it'll type in correctly into the chat. Hope it shows up. Let me know if you see it. A site will pop up. It's a link. Yep, there it goes. Syncmusica.com. I hope it works. And it will take you to syncmusica.com. Yeah, it's working. So I put the link in there. You can go to our services. And now our business, I got to tell you how we're different from our competitors. Okay. We have a 3-tier ways that you can be a part of Sync Musica. And we have a Sync Musica community. So syncmusica.com, when you go to our website, okay, you will see if you're a visual media, if you're a music creator, you can go in there, select a plan. There'll be 3 lines. If everybody's on their phone, you'll go in there, hit the three lines, and you'll select a plan. Now, it's not a subscription. Contrary to my competitors, okay, that do this, some of them charge $300 a year. And you pretty much, you have to, for maybe a few songs, okay? Or they're going to hold the music exclusively, or they're going to take your publishing. I don't take exclusivity, and I don't take publishing unless you want a publishing deal. And so when you submit your songs, you can submit 25 songs for, let's say, 5 songs for $55 or 3 songs for $25. You pay that one fee once and can submit those songs throughout the course of the year, whenever you're putting them out or whenever you want to. And it doesn't have to be released to be submitted. It just has to be mixed, mastered, and you have to do your due diligence to register your song to protect your intellectual property. And I'll make sure you do that before you put it in our catalog. Okay. And so there's quality control. Then you'll get a password once you pay. You'll fill out a form, and the form will tell you exactly what you need to fill in to make sure you have all the necessary registrations. Once you fill that, you become part of our music community. Then you have access to performing at our showcases. You get access to our webinars. You get access to pitch night every other month where you can pitch to a very specific TV series we're working on. Okay. That's one thing. But then you also will have an opportunity when you're part of the community to get invited to perform at a film conference, at a music conference, okay,
Mm.
in New Orleans or a film conference in Miami. Okay. Besides that, then anybody who's a film creator, because we're developing something new right now in our platform that I cannot reveal because we'll
Gotcha.
be revealing it in about a month or so. A visual media provider, someone who is making a film movie, will be able to go into our section. If you go on our computer, there's a big red button that says licensing. When you're looking for a specific song for your film or your TV series, you'll go in there, you'll fill in what's called a brief of what you need, what the brief basically tells you some basic things: where you want to use a song, how long you want to use a song. It also tell you what the film is, if it's going to air on Netflix, Hulu, or if it's going to be a film that is going to be in theaters, etc., etc. And then when you put that information as a director or the producer of the film, and you put that in there, then it's going to give you an option to have access to our catalog, where it will give you the song that fits with your synopsis or your brief
Hmm.
or your film. And then
Well,
you'll be able to say, okay, I want this one, I want this one, or I want that one, which is going to be groundbreaking because they have a direct, quick access to what they need. And then if they want a customized producer, which we have, different producers like Nomad in LA, we have producers in New York, we have producers here in Miami that specialize on producing score for a film. Okay.
Let
Then
let me
we
intervene here. That's interesting. I just want to say this. So you're saying they'll submit a song, but then that song can actually be fully produced to become a soundtrack type of performance that they can shop it in that capacity. Am I saying that correctly? Are you
yeah,
saying that?
in the film, let's say Steven Spielberg,
Mhm.
okay, he wants just a couple of songs for certain scenes. He can go into our website, he'll be able to submit the brief and receive 3 suggestions. Okay, 3 suggestions specifically for the scene. It's a driving scene or the
Yeah,
lovemaking scene or the
right.
montage scene. Now, if he decides he likes these few songs and he says, wow, I like what I'm hearing here. This is mixed, this is mastered, this is one stop, easy, clear. I think I want this company to recommend a composer for the full film score. Then he can either reach out to us or he can go into our services, view the composers we currently work with, and he can say, look, this is the composer I want to create the whole entire score for my film.
Well, that's just it. I'm going to say this to you, man. Uh, you just gave us a smorgasbord of information, and because I say I'm typically run these about 35 or 40 minutes, and we read at 38 minutes and 18 seconds, and I just want to say this to you. Boy, look here, you got the credentials. You just broke it down. You just said to someone, let me micromanage you so you can go to the macro. You know what I mean? Let me break this down for you so you can get everything the way it needs to be. And sometimes you need that. And I'm going to segue to what we're doing every Thursday night through my company. It's called the Get Activated Community. If you go to theactivator.net, what I want to say to you is this: sometimes you need a mentor. Sometimes you need someone that can be a liaison to make that happen. I'm willing to partner with Jesse tonight on this call and just say, hey, if someone gets into my camp and they are musically inclined and they want to take whatever they're doing to the next level, I will make sure that without a doubt, your consultation, your intellectual property will be available to them, obviously. But the point is, we're all sitting here tonight because we're offering a community of services. People don't understand. Your intellectual properties are yours. It's something I always say, and I'll let everyone know this. There are things that you don't understand that have the 4I effect. You know what they are? They're intrinsic, they're inherent, they're inborn, and they're innate in you. And all you got to do is develop them. And sometimes we all need someone to kind of mentor us, help us get, and that is where my company as a life coach, I'm about that. I'm doing this tonight on Tuesdays, but every Thursday night, theactivator.net, all you have to do is go in there, click on the link, and come to the webinars. If you come into our webinar and say that you are a music business, should I say just a singer, writer, performer, anything that you're doing, you will own this tonight. Automatically, Jesse becomes part of that project. So I'm putting it out there tonight to say that. And we really want to make sure you understand that, because we have been in this industry so long that is what we do. Maru's looking at me. Yeah, we definitely, she was saying, Maru is talking to me right now. We do want you to join us. We want you to come into the Get Activated community. I don't know if you put the links in or we were able to do that tonight, but the links are on my website. If you want to get into my community, all you go there is click on Get Activated Community, or you go over and check on the one that says 30 Days to New You Maximum Potential Coaching. If you're an entertainer, if you're a writer, you're a producer, you're somewhat green to a lot of this, but you need mentorship in the industry, come into our camp. That's what we do. That's what I've done. That's what Jesse's done. And we're saying this to you tonight. Even if you're just trying to get personal development, this is where you'll come over on Thursday nights, no charge at all. The free Zoom link is right there. Come on in, join us, tell a friend all about it. And let me tell you something. Everybody needs a little push every now and then. We all need that. So tonight, I want to say this to you, that I'm asking you and telling you, Jesse, to let them know that you had to get mentors. I had to get mentors. We've all had people who've used their intellectual property to help us be better at what we're doing. I'm not just talking about your school teachers and the people who are around. No. You get someone who can micromanage you, put things in perspective. The Get Activated community I have, the 30 Days to New You Maximum Potential Coaching will do that. So, Jesse, I got a couple other questions I want. Oh, yeah, here. She's reminding me to tell you, your program it'll be there once this show is over and we stop. Matter of fact, Jesse, and I'm going to say this to you, and we'll do it offline. I want to make sure I put in the description that people will have the information in the description that they can get. Speaking of that, also, the gentleman who was on before you, my first guest on the show, his stuff's there. If you need money for your music business to help you grow your business, Jesse, I tell them all. This gentleman helped me. His name is John Matthews. We have a partnership that it's ongoing. Even though he was with me a couple of weeks ago, all you need to do is click on that link there for his show. If you need money to help you get your business off the ground, even if it is a music business, he's there for you. So I have a couple other questions I got just before you go, Jesse.
I want to say something before you continue.
Yeah.
Your program that you offer, how long is your program?
If they get into the Get Activated community, that's a month-to-month program. That program is only $3 a day. It's $97 a month. And that way, every month, you get me once a month for consultation. Now, for more money than that, obviously, if you come into the 30 Days to New You MPC, which is Maximum Potential Coaching, and you decide you really want to get, really micromanage coaching, you'll get me every week for 30 days, and it's an unconditional 30-day guarantee. I always recommend people take the 30, 60, 90 challenge, that they should sign up for 3 months, because obviously the first month is more like an icebreaker. What I have is a personal empowerment recognition questionnaire, and I'm all about mind, body, spirit in my camp. I don't care how much cognitive development you get. You are still physical. Your health is your wealth. You are still spiritual. No power out there is greater than the power within you. These are the type of opportunities you get if you come into the 30 Days to New You MPC. So that's every Thursday night, 7 o'clock. All you got to do is go to my IG bio. There's a link there, or you can go to my website, theactivator.net. And I tell you what, if they're music business people, hey, Jesse, I'm serious. I'm saying this and I'm putting it out there. You automatically get her services. And whatever I got, I know that Jesse will be there for you.
Yeah, I want to sweeten the deal. If any musicians sign up for any of your packages, the first 5 musicians that sign up for your package will be able to submit one song into syncmusica free of charge. The
Mm.
first five people that sign up, and they're musicians or producers or creators, and also they'll be able to receive one free consultation with me. So I'm offering
Excellent.
that to the first five musicians or producers or music creators that purchase a package from you. They'll receive free consultation from me, as well being able to put one song in free in Sync Musica catalog for opportunities for sync placement.
Wow, man, all I can suggest is that's a game changer. And especially even if they come into the $97 a month, I mean, and I meant to
There's
do it.
five musicians who sign up for whichever
And
one.
guess
I'm in.
what else?
I'm
They
in
get
there.
a copy of my book. They come into the $97 a month community. This is
Yes.
a $26 hard copy book that you actually get. And this book is all about mind, body, and spirit. It's about personal empowerment. It's about how you can stay activated and avoid the long-term procrastination to stagnation. Coming into the camp, you'll be able to get that. I want to say, Jesse, thank you so much for offering your intellectual property in that capacity. That's a game changer. So I'm going to make sure that you and I, once we get off air here, we're going to get the data necessary that I can put in the description section of your video. This video will be available. It's not going anywhere. All you have to do is go to Gregory the Activator on YouTube, click on the live stream button, and it'll be right there. It'll be posted up as we speak tomorrow and until we decide to take it down, which will be no time soon. And let me tell you something. If you're smart enough about this, Jesse, you just really laid it out there. Oh man, you just laid anybody with good common sense about the reality that they don't understand publishing. I mean, you didn't have to go that you didn't have to micromanage us to that extent, but you did, and you did it in a manner that you made it ABC. You made it 1 and 1 is 2. You made it 2 and 2 is 4. So anyone want to do this, we're there for you. She's there for you. We have this community of wanting to do what? Remember, it says right there, inspire and empower you. Every time you come to a GG Factor, you will walk away inspired. You will walk away empowered. You will walk away well informed. You will be educated and entertained. I've enjoyed every moment of it. I knew it would be exactly like this tonight. I appreciate you, Jesse. And the only thing I would say is this. The other question I had was, are you performing anywhere soon? Can someone come out to see you? I just wonder if you want to pop that or just tell
I
someone.
did Fisher Island. I was on Fisher Island last weekend, and I was actually in Coral Gables at Books and Books. It was wonderful. And believe it or not, my mother, who I'm a performer because of my parents that were famous performers. I'm going to be releasing what's called a bolero album, which is like the equivalent of the blues in the American world. And I'm releasing a song for Mother's Day, which is a duet with my mother, which is so special in my heart. It's a classic.
That was one of my questions. You know that, right? I was going to say, are you releasing any music?
Yes, a bolero
Is the music
album.
American? Is it Spanish?
It's going to be Spanish. My fifth album. My fifth I'm a self-made artist. My fifth album, and the single is going to be something I'm releasing with my mom for Mother's Day. I'm so excited.
I didn't know your mom sings. I didn't know that.
Well, I came from 2 performing parents. They performed in the 60s.
I knew about your dad, but I didn't know mom was a singer also.
Yeah, they did. Movies. So it's in my heart. It's in my genes.
In your blood. It's in
and
there.
I want to pay it forward now and help other artists be able to fulfill their dreams. Like you said, we inspire, we empower, and knowledge is the key to it all. And you got to start with you. You got to start with yourself first, which is what you do, Greg. And then once you get the tools within yourself to make sure you follow through, that you're persistent, everything else, then you get the tools within your craft. It's a done deal.
Yep. Man, I can't thank you enough. And personal empowerment is priceless.
Yes.
That's all I can say to our viewers, our listeners. Are you on any podcasts coming up? Or Maru just put up a paper that you have any guest appearances on podcasts? Or you got anything
what
like
I
that?
do is just like you, I do a coaching every Monday. If you go to eventbrite.com and you put Sync Musica webinars and panels, every Monday, you can go in there, register for a Monday webinar, and there's panels, guest speakers, and depending if anybody signs up, then we have the Monday event. So every Monday you'll see that there's a possibility to attend that webinar or that panel workshop, and it's a wonderful opportunity to get more knowledge from myself and also guest speakers in the industry that periodically come on. And that's every Monday. Just go to eventbrite.com, look for Sync Musica webinars and panels, and whenever they pop up. And also my website, my YouTube is syncmusica.com.
Uh-huh.
And when you go to syncmusica, there's some panels that I've done there in the past that you'll get extreme knowledge, and it's there for you at your fingertips for free.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up. All I can say to you is that, man, you just laid it out there for them.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for the opportunity.
I thank you because I told so many people about this who I know are writing music, who are doing what they do, man. And man, it just, you know, you're such a professional about it. And I wasn't, you know something, Jesse, before I get off this, I wasn't just trying to be funny about your credentials. Everybody don't just jump up and say, I'm going to go get some credentials and I'm going to go to Berkeley. It sounds to me like you've gotten the right ticket. You've gotten the right information. You are comfortable in your skin with this. And I'm sure someone listening needs this service. I'm going to say that every 6 to 8 weeks, I'm going to invite you back. You're welcome to come back. You're welcome to come back and say, hey, what is today, May the 6th. If you want to come back in the summer at some point and follow up with people again and do this, you are always welcome because people need what you're offering. Till the next time, I'm going to say, hey, man, I appreciate you. And remember, this Thursday night, my friends, all you got to do is go to theactivator.net. If you're on IG, all you got to do is go into my bio and click on the link. It'll take you to our Zoom free webinar on Thursdays at 7 o'clock. And until then, the Activator, the GG Factor tonight, we're going to say, see ya. Thank you, Jesse. Love you, baby.
Love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It was wonderful.